Hello everyone, welcome to episode number 74 of Chatting with Anthony. In today's episode, I'm going to tell you why you need to create value for others. Now value is defined, according to I believe Merriam-Webster or Oxford, whatever source Google pulls it from, value is defined as the regard something is held to deserve. Also defined as the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. Now I'm going to break down those three words: importance, worth, or usefulness. So when it comes to importance, imports means to bring in from an external source. Think of like products, like the US gets a lot of products from China. Those are imports. On the other hand, the US makes something and sends it abroad. That's an export, if you live in the US. But yes, you're creating something for someone, and they're taking it in. They're like importing it into themselves, I guess you could say it like that. Then ants, like the A-N-C-E, it's a noun that denotes an action, right? Not too important for the overall meaning of the word. But you're basically trying to transfer something. And that when you create value for others, you are transporting something that they hold in high regard. How high of a regard? It depends, really. I mean, look at sports. I'm a sports fan myself. The prices to go to the games are outrageous. I rarely ever go to games. I'm happy almost never going to games, really. But that's just the reality of it. When you look at the word worth, it is the level that someone or something deserves to be rated, right? Like people think that going to a sports game is worth a couple $100 ticket, transportation expenses, the food expense. People ascribe that worth to it. People ascribe worth to relationships with others. You essentially ascribe worth to anything with value. I mean, that's basically what the definition of it meant. Like if you think that, if you're a Christian, and if you're like a true Bible-believing Christian, you believe that Jesus is worth laying down what you want in your life to look like for him. You are saying that there's something greater than what I want, what I can see with my own two eyes. This is all temporal, and I don't want to just walk in the temporal world. I want to, I don't know if bring down the spiritual world is a good way to say it. I think that's an odd way of wording it, but you basically want to show other people why it is that you are living this life of, what's the word I'm looking for? Deniance is not a word. You're showing others why you are denying what you want for him, right? He's not just like Sky Daddy who's like sitting there with like an angry rod ready to whack us whenever we mess up. You want to show people the love of Christ, the love that can only come from God. Show why exactly you are doing this, basically. That deserves to be rated highly, if you ask me, the life of Christ, and giving up my life and hopefully your life for that. And then we'll take the word usefulness. So useful means able to be used for a practical purpose. Now, something can have a lot of worth to it, but like, for example, a lot of people, like when it comes to like artwork, or I don't know what the word, I don't remember the term for what you would call something like you just let sit there, like a collectible, I guess you could say, right? It's not like a toy that you're gonna play with. It's just you're gonna put it there and you're just gonna look at it and go, that's cool. A lot of people don't get into that stuff because they just look at it and they go, what use is that for me? Like, sure, it's cool to look at, like, but you have to have like, there has to be an ascribed value essentially. And so it's something such as like a toothbrush is very useful. You need that. You should be using it twice a day. Doctors say 3. I go 2, but you do you. That was funny that rhymed. But regardless, you have to look at it and understand why it is that you want it, I guess is what I'm trying to say, right? That's how you describe usefulness. And then for ness, it indicates the state, quality, or condition of being. Again, not that important to it. It's just like the ness basically is just like, you wouldn't say this is the useful of this is very good. You would say the usefulness of this is very good. Kind of a weird sentence regardless, but you get the point. And again, if you look at the life of Christ, the purpose was to bring as much value to the world as possible. He taught so much and did so many miracles while he was here, and he was showing everybody how to have eternity with a God that has no need for us but wants us. Clearly, he was literally like walking among us. Right now, I don't mean this to demean or to just say the life of Christ was just to, provide value to us because we're that important. I don't mean it like that. But he does view us as very important, really. I can't think of another reason why he would leave heaven to go live on this earth and put up with the things he put up with, to die the way he did, a gruesome death, right? Like, whatever video you've seen that, like, portrays it, I can almost promise you what it actually looked like is a lot worse. Obviously, we weren't there, but the way that I've heard some people explain it, if it's true, which I believe it is like horrific. Like, think of like the worst horror movie death you've ever seen, and it was probably worse than that. The only reason you would do that is I know like people got mad at Corey Asbury for the song like Reckless Love. Because you're like, why would you call God's love reckless? And I think it's because you ascribe the worth of that meaning, of that word, to be like careless, like you don't know what you're doing. And so I can understand why people got upset with it, but it's just a matter of like, you have to, how technical are you being with it, with the meaning of the word? And I just don't agree with, viewing it in that manner. But it is a good song overall. Wealth, when it comes to the transfer of value, that is how wealth is created. You provide value to others. That is literally what business is. You provide something that they say this is worth the price that you're asking for. Therefore, I will pay it to you and let you perform. Give you or perform whatever it is that you want to do. I don't think I worded that properly. It's essentially saying like, what you're offering, I accept. Here's the money, and then do what you said you were going to do. You transfer value through information, trying to like teach others how to give others information, or even teach them how to do certain things. Through services, like, hey, you don't want to cut your lawn, I could do that for you. You don't know how to fix your toilet, I can do that for you. You look at either like the stock market and cryptocurrency, it's the transfer of value. It's a bit different. It's not quite as like practical like life advice, but it is a transfer of value. That's literally what it is. And in the information part, you teach people how to do that because it's complicated. And also another thing, if you ever want to make money and you don't care too much about morals, you take something that either is complicated or, you take something that's not complicated, you try to overcomplicate it, and then sell people the solution for the problem you just created. It's worked since the beginning of time. I don't really agree with it. That's not to say that if something is overall simple and there's a nuance to it that's complicated, you can't, sell that. But I'm talking I'm not going to go too far into it, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about, right? You basically like misuse the text and you do it in order to make people feel inferior to you. And then you try to lift their spirits up again by selling it to them. But yes, that is all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe. God bless. I'll see you brothers in the next one.